8 is the time after that extended interview with Archie Norman, the chairman of Marks and Spencer's. But let's get straight to other matters and talk about jobs to be supported over the next 4 years in a programme of infrastructure investment. What does that mean in simple English? Let's turn to Dr. Thérèse Coffey, who's Work and Pension Secretary, joins me now. OK, spell out for my listeners. Good morning, Doctor. Spell out what this means.
Good morning. Well, it's conscious that we still need to and want to invest in infrastructure right across the country. We believe this will translate into over 400,000 jobs. And importantly, I think that they will be better paid jobs or higher paid jobs than the national minimum wage. And we're ready in our department to try and help people, particularly those out of work, to make sure they get those skills in aspects of construction so they can share in the levelling up agenda that will be right around the country. But to give you an example, £2.5 billion of this will be going into making sure schools are upgraded or aspects rebuilt. And again, so people will see that direct investment and the jobs associated with it right around the country.
And we're talking about men and women who actually do the building and the plastering and the electricians, or what sort of actual jobs are we talking about, Doctor?
Well, I think there'll be an element of that, but as often happens with infrastructure, there's other associated jobs that go with it, whether aspects of project administration and similar. So we see all sorts of different opportunities that come out from when we're increasing the amount of money going into construction or other aspects of infrastructure. So it's good news for people to get on in work and to earn more. OK, good news there, but many people are questioning whether it was good news last week with the Social Care Reform Bill. Headlines yesterday saying that it could harm jobs and families, and this is a report from the Treasury. Are you still foursquare behind this? Absolutely. It's a decision taken, led by the Prime Minister, about finding a solution to this decades-old
so you're happy
issue
to break
about
up
social
families,
care.
Are you, Doctor?
I'm not sure where that comes in what you're questioning, but
you didn't see the papers yesterday? OK. So this is an Measured Revenue and Custom report for the Treasury saying that one effect, and I quote, could be an impact on family formation, stability or breakdown, as individuals who are currently just about managing financially will see their disposable income reduce. So you're happy to see families break up?
I don't think there's... I don't know where HMRC or any
Have you not
source
seen
of that...
Report? Secretary
No,
State?
I have not seen that report,
This was in
Nick.
the papers. Why aren't the team telling you about this?
15%.
You're the Pension Secretary.
Well, I expect it's an unquoted source and we don't look into elements like that. But 15% of the top earners will be paying for half of the levy that comes through. We'll still be seeing it 6 million of our lowest paid workers won't pay a penny
HMRC,
extra at all.
Dr. Coffey. It's not an it's a report from Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. Why aren't you aware of this?
I'm not aware of it, Nick. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I'm not sure I agree with the assertion that's made.
Absolutely. Now, I want to hear that, but I'm staggered that your team chose not to tell you. But anyway, I don't know if they've heard of a paper called the Sunday Telegraph on the front page. It might be an idea that they pick up on it. Do go on. Quite a few Conservatives read the Telegraph. Dr. Coffey.
Well, I was just flagging that, yes, this is an important decision that's been made and the levy will come in next year. But I'm conscious that, again, it fixes a decades-old issue that we've had. But one of the things that we are continuing to do as part of the Plan for Jobs update is this extra investment that will be happening in infrastructure. And we've already seen 80,000 people take up apprenticeships. We've seen with the financial incentives for employers that came from that. So I'm conscious that we are doing what we can, not only to help more people back into work, but also to help them progress in work as well by gaining new skills. OK. Another paper yesterday, which a lot of Conservatives read, is the Mail on Sunday. Their headline, which I imagine, sadly, you've not seen, and neither of your team, 100 Tories revolt as Prime Minister warned tax grab could cost him the election. You're not revolting, are you, with these others, Dr. Coffey? No, a vote was had last week in Parliament, which the government won very clearly. Will be bringing forward the necessary legislation, particularly to ring-fence that levy, and it will be a solid investment temporarily for the NHS backlog, but also fixing the social care issue that we have faced over.
But there's a lot of angry
now.
Conservatives. You have a lot of colleagues who are angry. Sir Ian Duncan-Smith says the plans are chaotic. Marcus Fish says without much greater explanation and concession, the government faces a potentially much greater rebellion from the Tory benches this week. Are you alive to that?
Well, I'm conscious that Marcus has been a vocal opponent of this. However, Sajid Javid, the Health Secretary, will be setting out the more details in the white paper, which is due out in the next month or so. But nevertheless, the vote was made by Parliament last week and passed, and we'll be continuing our plans for that.
OK. And just to clarify one other matter, vaccine passports, Dr. Coffey, they're now off again? Is that correct?
Well, earlier in the year, when we were considering this, we said we'd make the decision in September. As the Health Secretary indicated yesterday, an evaluation has been done. It's decided they're not necessary for now for the government to mandate having passports in certain environments. I'm conscious that that is still a potential tool in our toolbox for the future, but very clearly the assessment has been done. The formal decision will be made very shortly and shared with Parliament alongside the other aspects of the winter preparedness plan, which the Prime Minister will be setting out to the country tomorrow.
And lastly, for my listeners who might be planning a half-term break when it comes next month with their child or their children, where are we on the jabs within a 2-day return? Is that and indeed traffic lights, are they also likely to be reviewed or shelved?
Well, I think the Health Secretary gave an indication on the direction of travel on that, but I don't want to preempt what the Prime Minister says tomorrow.
I'm grateful for your time. Thank you. Dr. Thérèse Coffey appearing here on LBC, where the time is 8 o'clock, and news of Thomas Watts is next.
On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC.
leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
From Global's newsroom at 8 o'clock, Boris Johnson is finalising his plan to tackle the coronavirus pandemic over the